an Advent wait, he was born, and Poles joyfully sat down at the Christmas table to spend this time together with loved ones, with family, with children mainly. We spend it very well with family. First of all, with family, and in church, because that's the core of Christmas. So I think that's the most important thing to give thanks for this Christmas, because it wouldn't be all this without God. On the second day of Christmas, Christmas joy is intertwined with suffering and death.
Módlcie się, aby moją i waszą ofiarę przyjął Bóg Ojciec Wszechmogący.
Priests put on red chasubles, a symbol of the blood shed for Christ, and the whole church remembers the first martyr, Saint Stephen. The Polish tradition is that we have 2 days of holidays. We celebrate Christmas for 2 days. Indeed, in the liturgy today, we remember Saint Stephen, the first martyr. But on the other hand, it is still the octave of Christmas. That is the 8 days in which we celebrate that landmark event for all mankind, the birth of Christ. According to the Acts of the Apostles, Saint Stephen was one of the 7 deacons of the young church. He cared for widows and the poor, but he offended the Jewish elders by preaching the gospel and performing miracles. They accused him of blasphemy, then stoned him to death. On the feast of Saint Stephen, Pope Francis opened the Holy Door at Rome's Rebibbia prison in a symbolic gesture. I wanted a second Holy Door to be opened here in the prison. I wanted each of us, whether we are here inside or outside, to have the opportunity to open wide the doors of the heart and understand that hope does not disappoint. This is the second Holy Door open, which is part of the Church's Jubilee, which is celebrated every 25 years. During this year, Catholics around the world will be able to gain a plenary indulgence by making a pilgrimage to one of the 4 main papal basilicas in Rome, the Holy Land, or designated churches in Poland. Combined with prayer, the faithful can obtain the remission of temporal sins and punishments.
Jezus malusieńki leży wśród stajenki, płacze z zimna, nie dała mu matula sukienki.
The second day of Christmas makes us reflect on faith and courage, because not everyone can go to church or simply pray without fearing for their lives. More than 365 million Christians in 78 countries are persecuted simply because they believe in Christ. Instead of presents, Christmas carols and celebrations. Another Russian attack on Ukrainian cities. I'm scared because I have a child. Of course I would like to be home and celebrate, but we had to take shelter because it's scary to stay at home. We just want peace. Most Ukrainians were sure of such a Christmas gift from Moscow. We always expect such wishes from our neighbor. As soon as the sirens start to sound, I take my children and run away to the metro. Despite the constant threat, Ukrainians are trying to maintain at least a semblance of a festive atmosphere. In churches, prayer intentions are basically the same. I am a soldier, and I share the same thoughts with others. 3 years of war is a very hard time. It is very difficult to part with family. I hope that Christmas will make some people stop, and some people prevail and push on. I believe that peace will come. For many families, it's another lonely Christmas, without fathers, brothers, sons, those who are still defending themselves on the front lines today, but also those that Russia has taken away forever. All we need is to live peacefully on our own land, to see the sun, our sky, and in it, a Christmas star, not Iranian shaheeds and Russian missiles. No talk of holiday cheer here. The attacks don't stop. For me, it's an ordinary day. What should one celebrate when there is a war going on? You can celebrate by being with your wife and children, with your family. A small Christmas tree is sometimes the only reminder of Christmas. Cards with drawings and wishes from children, and short conversations with loved ones. Usually interrupted by more artillery shelling. after which at many points of resistance, no one will answer another phone call. Video footage shows explosions on the skyline of Yemen's capital on Thursday, December 26th, after Israel said it had struck multiple targets linked to the Iran-aligned Houthi movement, including Sana'a International Airport. Houthi media reported that 3 people had been killed. The head of the World Health Organization said he was about to board a plane at the airport when it came under attack. A crew member on the plane has been injured. Earlier today, the Israeli military shared footage that showed fighter jets taking off ahead of strikes. This is our 4th strike in Yemen, and we are not finished yet. I want to start with the defensive effort we've been engaged in night after night for some time now, essentially throughout the past several days. It's a commendable effort, but it's not enough against the enemy we face here. Ultimately, the answer is to reach the enemy. We have just seen a tangible demonstration of what we are capable of, and we are capable of much more each time. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later confirmed the strikes. Netanyahu spoke from the underground command center at the Defense Ministry in Tel Aviv, where he oversaw the Israeli airstrikes with Defense Minister Israel Katz. We are lighting a second Hanukkah candle tonight. We are in the revival war, the generation of the Maccabees of today. A little while ago, the Air Force attacked targets of the Houthi terrorist organization in Yemen, both on the coastline and in Sana'a. We are determined to root out this terrorist arm of Iran's axis of evil. We will persist in this until we complete the job. We will hunt down all the Houthi leaders, hit them as we have done elsewhere. No one will be able to escape Israel's long arm. We will attack them in order to remove threats to the state of Israel. The airstrikes came after several days of Houthi launches setting off sirens in Israel. The Israeli military said it attacked infrastructure used by the Houthis at the international airport in Sana'a and ports at Hodeidah, Al Salif, and Ras Kantib, along with power stations. The U.S. military also has targeted the Houthis in Yemen in recent days. The United Nations has noted that the ports are important entryways for humanitarian aid. Over the weekend, 16 people were wounded when a Houthi missile hit a playground in Tel Aviv. Last week, Israeli jets struck Sana'a and Hodeidah, killing 9 people, calling it a response to previous Houthi attacks. The Houthis also have been targeting shipping on the Red Sea corridor, calling it solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza. The White House released a drone video tour on Christmas Eve, showcasing festive holiday decorations throughout the historic residence. U.S. President Joe Biden shared a Christmas message, accompanied by the video. Christmas still has the power to lift us up, to bring us together, to change lives, to change the world. Biden reflected on the enduring message of the holidays, emphasizing peace and compassion among all Americans.